Welcome to the Deep Dive. We are laser focused today on your summary of the biggest AI news from the week ending December 7th, 2025.
Exactly. We've got financial strategies, some massive enterprise deals, and some really fundamental changes to how AI actually thinks.
So let's start with the money. Where's the smart capital hedging its bets?
We'll look at Nexus Venture Partners. They just closed a new $700 million fund,
A huge number.
a huge number. But here's the twist. They are deliberately diversifying away from an all-in AI strategy.
Away from it. Why?
Their thinking is that there's just excessive global capital in AI right now. It's creating an exposure risk they're not comfortable with.
So they're spreading the risk.
Right. They're putting that $700 million across AI, sure, but also enterprise software, and focusing almost half the fund on India's digital economy, fintech, consumer, that sort of thing. It's a cautious but, optimistic move.
Okay, so a strategic hedge. Now, moving from private capital to public strategy, what's happening with the U.S. government?
The Commerce Department is getting ready to invest up to $150 million in a semiconductor startup called xLight.
xLight, they're the ones developing those new particle accelerator-based lasers, right? The
Yeah.
ones meant to challenge ASML.
That's them. And this investment, which is coming from the Chips and Science Act, could make the government one of the largest shareholders in a private startup.
Wow. But what does that actually mean, practically, when the government becomes one of your biggest investors?
Well, that's the real tension here. Supporters are saying this is essential. It's industrial policy we need to rebuild chip sovereignty.
And the critics.
The critics are worried. They think state involvement is inevitably going to influence, maybe even slow down, private innovation. It's a huge bet for the government.
A huge bet. Okay, let's pivot to enterprise adoption. Meta just acquired the AI device startup Limitless.
Yes, this is the company with that wearable pendant that was continuously recording and transcribing audio.
Basically creating a searchable personal memory.
Exactly. And this is a huge signal for Meta's strategy. Limitless is stopping hardware sales, and their team is joining Meta's wearables division.
So Meta is going all in on ambient computing.
They want that continuous, real-world context. They're building for a future of AI-first personal devices, and that means they need your life's data.
And while Meta is buying hardware startups, the back-end enterprise deals are getting bigger and bigger. Anthropic just signed a massive deal with Snowflake.
$200 million, multi-year. This is critical for enterprise customers.
Yeah, so?
It means Snowflake customers now get direct access to Claude models right inside their own cloud platform. They can run analysis, build custom agents, all on their own proprietary data.
Without the data ever having to leave the Snowflake environment.
Precisely. It's a huge win for Anthropic's focus on secure, privacy-first enterprise AI.
Okay, now this is where the tech itself gets really interesting. Google Research unveiled something called Titans MIRAS.
This is a big one. It's an initiative to give AI systems actual long-term memory.
So, going beyond the current session's context window.
Way beyond. We're talking about remembering user preferences and tasks over weeks, maybe even months.
And that kind of maturation leads to another shift, right? I saw this Katie Nuggets article arguing that prompt engineering is basically dead.
It's being replaced, yeah, by what they're calling context engineering.
Define that for us.
It's less about the magic words you type into the prompt and more about designing the entire information environment around the prompt. So the data sources, the constraints, the user history, everything you need for reliable production-grade outputs.
And Google is also upgrading the core reasoning. They just rolled out Gemini 3 DeepThink mode.
Right, for Google AI Ultra users. DeepThink lets the model run deliberate multipath reasoning instead of just spitting out an instant answer.
It's forcing the AI to slow down and think.
Pretty much. And it's dramatically improving performance on complex stuff like logic, math, and planning. It's a trend toward slower but much more accurate LLMs.
Just one quick cultural note before we wrap. A recent Telugu film, which reportedly used a lot of AI in production.
When editing, VFX, music, everything.
It just crossed 1 million views. That seems to validate that audiences are open to this, and it could mean we see much faster adoption for cost savings, especially in regional cinema.
So let's tie it all together for you.
Yeah.
We saw capital getting cautious about an overheated AI market, enterprise solutions embedding themselves deeper, and AI models getting, for the first time, long-term memory and real reasoning skills.
It was a week of major strategic shifts.
So here's the final thought. If AI models are getting long-term memory, like MIRAS, and they can reason slowly through complex problems with DeepThink, how soon before we see truly autonomous, persistent AI agents managing parts of our lives. And what new ethical concerns does this continuous context building raise for you?
Something to think about. We'll see you on the next deep dive.